What is up, guys? We've got Colton here, of course, and we've got Chase in the guest host chair.
Sidecar.
We've got G in the producer chair. We are on episode 35 of many, I believe. It is Monday, June 23rd, and this will be released on Thursday, June 26th. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got a hot one today. Chase and I just got back from a little 1.5 mile walk. We went to the post office quick and just kind of got our weekly meeting in while getting some steps in. So we were reviewing kind of our semi-private program, what all that looks like, our personal training aspect, our coaches, what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, things that Chase and I need to work on as leaders and stuff like that. So that was kind of this morning, but yeah, what's your take on that, Chase? What are you thinking right now on our coaching stuff, or what are some things we're working on?
We're kind of at a spot now where you've kind of mentioned it, especially with us trying to onboard people to do several things where it's not just strictly all you do is coach. And if you're not coaching or staffing, trying to find more things where you're reaching out to clients, you're reaching out to leads, you're trying to do more back end work. So we are in a spot now where people can be developed, and it's not just strictly like you do the level one thing and now this is where you stick forever. It's more so like how can you ascend and do more in the company. So again, it's a thing that we haven't done before necessarily. So trying to find things like in my role or my job and how can I best train people on that for a bunch of things I've never written down before, or I've never thought about the process necessarily. Just creating a process and SOPs and a lot of kind of like the ticky-tacky, if you want to phrase it that way, but just like making it replicable and making it streamlined.
Yeah, one of the hard things that we've had recently, for those of you who don't know, we onboarded 3 coaches all at the same time, which is great. You know, it just kind of fell in our lap. We found 3 really good applicants, and we're like, these are good coaches, right? So we brought them all on. And as you know, what is the saying? It's like the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none, right? So we're kind of taking that approach where we're onboarding 3 coaches. We're trying to make sure everybody knows what they're doing, but we're kind of falling short because we're attacking too many things at once, right? So we're doing a very good job of communicating as well as we can. We're trying to get that, understanding like, hey, we did bring on 3 coaches at the same time. We're going to get to all of you. We're going to make sure everybody's questions are answered. We're trying to over communicate with these individuals and just make sure they know what's going on and like they understand the system, they understand the program, and making sure we're an open book for them. That's kind of like the biggest thing that we're working on, is making sure they feel comfortable and that they're happy. We have noticed that a couple coaches have different needs or different thoughts or different ideas, and we're also trying to bring on our different thoughts and our different ideas. So again, the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. We're trying to focus on the one thing, kind of like I talked about a couple episodes ago. What one thing can we work on this week with this one coach to make them better or to make the system better, right? So trying to take a step back. We're trying to ease into it. We're not trying to attack all of it at once. There are a lot of things that we want our coaches to be good at. For example, maybe we want a coach to do consults. Maybe we want them to do nutrition coaching. Maybe we want them to do their sessions in the program, right? There's all these different things they can be doing. We just need to make sure that they're communicated with properly, effectively, efficiently, all of those things, making sure it's kind of one step at a time. So I'm a guy with a lot of ideas and a lot of thoughts, and I like to talk about them out loud, which sometimes is a fault because I tell Chase 10 ideas. He remembers 2 of them, or he remembers all of them, but he's like, what direction do I go with? Where do I start? What do you expect of me after all of the things you just spewed out, right? So as leaders, we are trying to be, the 2 of us, we are trying to take a step back and just make sure that we kind of ease into this and make sure that the coaches are well aware of what's going on and that kind of stuff. Did I explain that right? I feel like there's some things that we wish we could do all at once. It's just like, we need to 1 week at a time. What can we do?
It's not for not a lack of forethought. It's a lack of, okay, like what's the process essentially?
And every coach needs our attention a little bit each week, right? So it's like, if we could do all the things with Coach A today and this week, great. But like, unfortunately, we need to work with all 3 coaches. So like, we're trying to 1 step at a time with each coach and making sure they're all doing the same thing. So we're not trying to like teach them all different ideas. We're trying to make sure they all understand the same idea. Hey, with Gym Master, you need to book your sessions with the clients, right? Like, so that's one thing that we're working on getting out there. And once they kind of start doing that right, then we bring on kind of the next thing, right? Anyways, mind you, we told you guys it was hot. I am just dripping in sweat. We just got back from this walk. It's like 92 degrees out. This is the third day in a row of 90 plus heat. It's supposed to cool down after today. Sorry, I just had to bring that up because I am.
Nice. I can like feel.
Yeah.
You can feel yourself like climbing up.
Maybe that extra half mile walk, a half mile on that walk wasn't a good idea. So, aside from kind of our little lesson there of the man who chases two rabbits catches none. That's kind of your opener for today. What let's talk the weekend real quick. Let's just kind of go back and forth here. What I think you had a bachelor party this weekend, maybe?
I did have a bachelor party this weekend. We played paintball for I think a little under 4 hours. I think that's just I've only done it a handful of times. I think it's the third time I've done it, but every time I do it, it's just awesome.
It's a great time.
It's I don't know. I probably haven't done it since like middle school when I had like a birthday, but everyone after the fact then, because besides Joe, no one else is engaged or married in that group. So they were saying like, "Oh, I would never do this for my bachelor party." They're like, "I would golf and go to the casino." I was like, "No, I would do this like 10 times out of 10." Like if I was asking, I don't know, because everyone's like, "I don't want to get shot anymore." I was like, I feel like that's like the least of it. It's like I'm sweating like because it was still 90 that day. It's like I'm sweating like hell. Like it's fun, it's physical, it's engaging. It's like not that it's sport by any means, but like there's strategy and like the guy that was like our referee or whatever you want to call it, making sure no one like lost an eye. He came up to me. He's like, "You probably ran like 2 miles across that last one." And he said, "You had some really good ideas, just no one followed you." I was like, "Yeah, no one else really wanted to get shot," but it was fun. They did the bachelor run with the groom or the husband to be and his brother, so that was fun. They got pelted pretty good. All of the rest of the wedding party, if you will, we ran it as well. And I quickly realized I was like the closest to the firing line. I was like, "Oh god." But I really only caught all of it in my arms, like, and I mean, they didn't welt up too bad, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Good time. I've never gone.
You've never been?
No, I think it's a good. It'd be fun to do it for like a team bonding, team building thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be as fun for us as it is. The girls in our group, like, would they have as much fun getting pelted by paintballs? I'm not sure. Maybe it would be more of a PF thing than a Grizzly thing. I don't know. I'd have fun if the girls went. I think it might be more fun for us if the girls went. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, like everyone that complained about the really bad welts they had, it was like there was one guy that came blazing in front of me. He was probably from like media away. Like you would play, it would have been like an old Call of Duty map, but there's the one with all the shipping containers, and they had that basically set up. And we were getting like to the end of it, so it was like 4 of us against 1 of them, and like 3 of my guys came around like the right side. I mean, it's a small area, like you're probably talking like 30 by 30 yards, and they all basically shifted spots, but I never moved. And that guy came burning by me like from media away and just like whoosh, 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 all unloading the side, and he had really bad welts after the fact. Those are the ones I almost feel bad about, but I don't know, it was still really fun. Like,
did you guys wear like long sleeves and pants and stuff, or
some guys had on hoodies, some guys had on long sleeves. I was debating. I was like, do I just know I'm going to sweat regardless and just sweat less by wearing short sleeves? So I wore shorts and a tank top, and I was all right with it. And I just wore it in the arms, and I think I only have like 1 shot on my body besides that. So quite literally, everyone shot me in the one part that wasn't covered. But I don't know, it was fine. Like, I don't know, I don't think it hurts, but teach their own.
Fair enough. Any other news or updates from the weekend for you?
No, I mean, Saturday was pretty tame. I mean, we went out on the boat afterwards for the afternoon, and they like it was a speedboat, so you were doing like surfing and tubing and just kind of kicking in the water, and that was fine. I'm not like the craziest boat person. I mean, I like the paintball, like running and
sure,
shooting and whatnot, and then at the end of the night we just played some poker, called it a day, and Sunday we just kind of nursed it off, if you will. I was pretty tired after all that on Saturday. So. What about yourself though? You've been running a lot recently.
Yeah, the last 2 days. I this weekend was good. Saturday's been a really good day for me. The last like 5 weeks, I think. Nolan and I have been working out every Saturday morning, which is like his 1 day a week that he works out, which is better than 0. So Nolan and I have been working out every Saturday morning. Varying times, could be 6:30, 7:30, 8 o'clock at most. And then G in the producer chair does join us as well. I think 3 or 4 of those Saturdays as well. He hasn't missed too many. So Saturday mornings have been really productive for me. Wake up this past Saturday. I did not run. Did I? No. So Saturday, woke up, got some steps in, I think, sauna, cold shower, did all that before the lift. Went and got a lift in. And then after the lift, I actually had to head up to Oshkosh, up to our Grizzly O Town up there. Jacob, my business partner there, does an ALS fundraiser on one time of year. He does an ALS fundraiser, and so it's from 10 to 2. And his dad actually passed away from ALS about 9 years ago, so it's kind of like a personal thing for him. So he just does like a brat fundraiser. All the profits and proceeds, all of the profits from it go back to ALS. A lot of members will come. Some people just donate money. Some people just throw, $20-$30 out there and not even really worry about the brat. But it was a good time, I hung out with the gym staff up there, got to kind of connect with them. Everybody's having a good time, listening to music, just kind of, not dancing around, but just having a good time. And that was before it was like too hot. It was windy. It was all right. But so that was kind of like the Saturday. And then I think that evening, it was just a chill evening for me. No beers or anything, just prepping, I think, a lot of meal. I prepped a lot of food and all that stuff for the week. And then Sunday, actually, I don't know what got into me, but I decided to wake up still at 5:30. I actually went for like a mile and a half. I called it HIIT training, even though most of it was just jogging. But I kind of stopped a couple times. I jogged like, I think it was just under a mile from the house. Then I took a breather. Then I was doing like kind of telephone sprints where you run to one, walk to the next, run to one. I was kind of doing stuff like that. And then I just jogged the rest of the way home after doing a couple of those. So I was like, that was pretty good. Legs were immediately extremely sore. I was like, that kind of sucked. But I was like running up a big hill as well. So anyways, started running for, I don't know why. Sunday was a good day. G and I ended up going outside. We got some breakfast Sunday as well. We ended up spending a lot of time outside with the nice weather. It was hot, but we ended up jumping in the river, just kind of screwing around again. And then I think we did steaks and cooking out last night, so that was a good time. I had almost 2,000 calories in New York strips last night. That was like my entire meal. Besides breakfast with G, I got 3 eggs, ham, and ham, sausage, bacon, omelet, and then like 2,000 calories of steak. So that was great. Felt great. And then I decided to wake up again this morning, Monday, and go for another run. Did the same thing. Kind of ran there, took a little breather, no sprints, just kind of ran back. And I don't know. I just decided, going off of that, we'll kind of go right into what I kind of want to say. So I like things, my mentality as of late, I've kind of found like a new hunger, like a new motivation. And I know motivation is hard for a lot of people. And I know we talked about motivation, and you have to kind of find something bigger than yourself, I think, to be motivated. Like when you're in high school and you're playing on your football team. Maybe you're a wrestler, maybe you're a baseball player, gymnastics, dance, cheerleading, whatever, basketball. Whatever it is, you've got something bigger than just you to have a reason to be better. Now, not everybody's like that, but if you're competitive, if you want to be the best, and you don't, you got to put in the time and the work to become the best, right? And so I was thinking about this, and I've also thought about the thoughts that I kind of say out there, like go take a cold shower because it's tough, it's hard, it's good for you, it builds character. My recent thought was, I like it when things are tough. Like I don't want things to necessarily be easy. Now, everybody wants things to be easy. They want to show up for work, and hopefully it's an easy day. Hopefully it's an easy Friday. Maybe I can leave early. Hopefully it's an easy Monday. Mondays are the worst. They suck, right? Like I want things to be tough. I want things to be hard. I want to not suffer, but when things are tough, it builds character, right? When you don't want to work out is the best time to work out. You're most satisfied after you do it because you prove to yourself, I can. And the more times you don't do what you're supposed to, like the more times that you skip the workout, skip the meal, eat the junk food, drink the drink, whatever it is, you're just kind of letting that voice get bigger inside your head. You're saying it's okay tomorrow, next week, next month. And everybody's always looking for well, I'll start on Monday. I'll start next weekend. I'll start, right? So the more times that you can put that voice down and prove to yourself, I like it tough. I like to do tough things. I like it when it sucks. I think you just build that part of the brain that you need, like just that character and that little bitch voice in the back of your head. You're getting rid of that, right? So this has been something that I've been using as a personal motivator. When things get tough, I just push through. It's way easier to sleep in on the weekends. It's way easier to not work out. It's way easier to not go for that run. But when I am doing that run and I'm wanting to stop, I'm just thinking like, I want to be the best. And what does that mean to you to be the best, right? When I say I want to be the best, it's not better than you. It's not better than G. It's not better than anybody. I just want to be the best. And I think a lot of people get that wrong is when you tell people, especially in today's culture, you say, I want to be the best. People are like, well, it's kind of like a touchy thing where it's like the competitiveness and you just don't, it's like they're assuming that you want to be better than everybody else. Now, yeah, maybe I do want to be better than everybody else, but I want to be the best me. I want to be the best version of me. And that's what I want to be the best means to me, right? Like everybody should want to be the best them. It's not a competition. It's longevity, right? It's like living as healthy and happy as long as you can. So I want to be the best that I can be. And so when I say I want to be the best, everything is a competition, but the competition is yourself, right?
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, all of those things, it's on you. So I always coach the 1% better. I say be 1% better, be the best version of you. That 1% better is just for you to be the best you can be. And not taking on too much at once. Again, the man who chases two rabbits catches none. Focus on one thing that can make you better. Be 1% better today. It's that simple. Just go out and be a little bit better. Be a little bit healthier. It's not improving 1% on a daily basis. It's not changing like one thing a day. That's not what 1% better means. It doesn't mean I quit nicotine yesterday. Today I'm going to quit caffeine and tomorrow I'm going to quit whatever. It's not that. It's like
overcoming that thing or having it be more cemented or
well, yeah,
routine.
it's like if I were to just get 15,000 steps a day, 12,000 steps, whatever your goal is, to me, that's always being 1% better every day because I'm improving myself. I'm not declining. I'm not going in the wrong direction, right? My goal is 15,000 steps a day, but today I only got 4,000 because I wanted to be a lazy piece of shit and just lay around, right? Like, as long as I'm consistently hitting that habit, that's 1% better. And realistically, you can be 1% better every day. Maybe I didn't get my steps today, but I didn't drink soda today. That's 1% better, right? Like, so you can kind of take whatever approach you want in it, but it's all about you and how you can be the best version of you. So do with what you want with that. I just kind of want to throw that out there. I lately, it's just been a big motivator for me, the I want to be the best aspect, the mentality. It's all about being the best you, and you're your only competition, I guess. So that's kind of where I wanted to go with that because I think that's been my motivation behind the running. I've come to learn like the older you get, the less agile you get, the less, we're talking sports and fitness and training athletes. And I was a good athlete. Like I trained to be a good athlete though. Like I worked harder than anybody else. There's not a single person that I went to school with that worked harder than me. And that's just a fact. Like I was in the gym more than everybody else. I was the guy getting everybody to the gym. Like I can go hands down and say like not many people would argue because you have to be confident in yourself that I trained extremely hard. Like nobody in our school trained nearly as hard as I did, but I'm saying in a bigger scope, like I worked harder than the average person by far. So just go out and be the best you. And I've been using that kind of be the best mentality. And that's, I think, a good one to add to kind of our 1% best version of you, be the best you can be. So sorry for that. It was kind of a little rant on my mentality lately, but I feel like a lot of people need to hear that is you got to put the chips down. You got to just figure out what your goal in life is and go and get it, right? So anyways, you have anything you want to add to that, Chase? I'm just dripping sweat over here as we speak too. So we are recording this episode. We recorded last episode as well. And I think we're actually, the episode you guys will see tomorrow, which obviously you're hearing this on Thursday. So the one that you're going to see on Tuesday of this week is, we actually did the video. I think we're going to release it. Gee, are we releasing it on? So there will be a video on YouTube. So if you're listening to this on Spotify on Thursday, you can go back to Tuesday and go see Tuesday's video. And depending on how much sweat G catches on this camera, because I can just feel it going down. There's no AC in this. We're in our little studio here, as you guys can see. It's hot. There's no AC, and then we obviously just came off a 1.5 mile walk, so I am just drenched. So thank you guys for that. But Chase, is there anything you want to add to my rant?
I think to the point you made earlier when you said you don't necessarily like want anything to get easier. You don't like pray or wish for easy days. More so, I think the one I always think about is that, and I see it all the time, whether it's social media or just recurring in books, is stuff doesn't get easier. You just get stronger or harder, however you want to phrase that. I think there's a point to that. Like to the point you made about getting 1% better, it's not always that you're doing different things every day to get better. It's more so a case of you're still doing the same things. You could be working out every day and maybe the workouts aren't like the movements aren't changing, your weights don't necessarily go up, but it's like, but you still did the hard thing. Like the day could have been a hell of a lot easier had you not done those things. So I think there's a point to be made with that. I don't know. Like I try to take that with kind of like the point you said, like when people ask like when they can do this or when they can get a hold of me, I was like, I'm up at like ass crack of dawn, like 4:30, and like I'm available realistically till 8 or 9 whenever I can fall asleep. But like you said, just kind of trying to fill the day with those things that's like not even, maybe it might be different in my position. I think you can probably level it as well, just like looking at your employees. But like if I can give something more where it's like I'm not even the only one benefiting, like clients can benefit from me, connect with them for half hour, throw in another session, whatever the case is, like that's another space where I look at it as them getting 1% better is me, like, again, giving what I can for, I don't know, that's a greater good thing, but still, I feel like I was able to do more, get more out of it, even if someone else got better as a byproduct. I don't know if that's kind of fugazi or how you look at that, but.
Oh, one thing I want to add too is like things don't necessarily get easier. You just get better, right? So you can take this into a work approach or into a physical fitness approach. I'm going for a run right now. It sucks. It hurts. Like I'm out of breath. I will get more in shape. And that run that I completed today would maybe be easier if I ran that exact same speed, but I just get better and I run a little bit faster. I run a little bit further and it still sucks and it's still hard, right? So in a physical aspect, things don't get easier. You just get better and stronger and then you continue to push yourself and like that's what it takes. In business and in life, things don't necessarily get easier. You learn more things, you learn new skills, you understand more, you can take on more, you can do more. Like for me, I've got a million things on the plate. I've got a bunch of different things to manage, a bunch of different employees to talk to, a bunch of different conversations to have. And well, I guess for one, a lot of people come up to me and they're like, you must be stressed out. You've got so much. You've got so much. I feel like I continue taking on more just because I feel like I'm getting better at it, right? Like I'm just taking on more things. I don't feel like I'm working any, I don't know how to properly say it, but I'm still working hard. I'm still having all the conversations I need to have. Like I'm trying not to drop the ball and I'm just becoming a different leader and I'm learning new skills, right? And so it allows me to take on more, but things aren't necessarily getting any easier. I'm becoming more experienced and understanding more. I'm also reading a lot. I'm trying to act like a sponge and take everything in. So anyways, whatever you want to be better at, I don't know what my point is here, but there's just things don't get easier. You just get better and things will remain. I don't know. I just love it. I love every aspect of it. So
I guess it's more so for people that think like the grass is green on the other side sort of debacle. Like there's always something like it's never just easy. Like in the business sense, like you said, you never see the fertilizer that it took to get the grass greener, or the shit that it took for the grass to get green. Like there's always some struggle in that sense if you're trying to like pivot one way or another, or if you're looking at that life wise, it's like, oh, if I just like do this, and I took like the easy way out, it's like this job would be easier than this, or if I didn't have all these responsibilities, it'd be easier. But like there's just new things that'll like find its way around. Like there is no easy route for anything necessarily.
I do want to, while I'm thinking of this, what time are we at? 23? So I've got another thing that kind of spews off of this, and it goes off the book that I'm actually reading right now. And then after that, maybe we'll throw in a topic or a question we'll talk about. I know we're just kind of going on today, but I'm reading right now Extreme Ownership, which is a phenomenal book about kind of the Navy SEALs and how basically like winners win, how they lead and just like leadership, right? And so the book's called Extreme Ownership. And one of the quotes that stuck with me is there's no bad teams, there's only bad leaders. And I love that because it all comes down to like who's leading the group, who is in charge, it's my fault, my responsibility on anything that our team screws up on. And I've been taking that approach. I feel like I do a very good job of that. I don't ever really point fingers. I do want to encourage people to own up to their own mistakes, like own your own shit, right? And that's kind of where I'm going with this. But everybody needs to have the mentality that like you've got to take care of your own stuff and you've got to realize when you fuck up, right? But the extreme ownership aspect, especially as a leader for like my position, is if my team screws up, it's my fault. I didn't prepare them properly. I didn't I didn't give them all of the directions or instructions, whatever, right? It's my fault and I need to coach them and we need to be better, right? So even when you and I are having a conversation, half of it's my fault. Most of it's my fault. I didn't prepare you as a leader, right? I'm talking to you right now. This goes on for more people than just Chase, though. I have this conversation with a lot of individuals on our team. It's like, I didn't prepare you to have this conversation with another staff, or I didn't prepare you with all the details that you need to know, and that's my fault. And as a leader, I need to do better, right? And so I come and apologize first. Even if Chase screws something up, Chase goes, "Oh, I forgot about this. I didn't do that." It's our fault. It's my fault. Like, I'm always here as the team. I'm not saying there's not times that Chase needs to hold himself accountable, but at the end of the day, it comes down to like your leadership. There's no bad team. It's just bad leaders, right? So owning your own stuff, owning your own shit, and just kind of, there's a lot of, in this book, there's a lot of good references. It's all about it's all about Afghan and all that kind of stuff and how they led their teams. And it's just interesting to understand, like, by owning up to your own mistakes or your team's mistakes and showing that, I don't know. I just think it goes so far. I don't know. I could just kind of keep rambling about it, but just extreme ownership. Own up to your own stuff and be a good leader and realize that there's no pointing fingers in being a good leader. You have to realize that it's your fault in preparing your team, and there's no egos in leadership and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, it's kind of hard to focus. I am wearing a blanket, basically soaked in sweat, I feel like. So anyways, let's throw a fitness topic out there for everybody, since this is kind of the grizzly life. We talked a lot about the mentality today. Let's throw out we've been talking a lot about fitness and nutrition, and just kind of, I'll throw it out there again since I've done it the last 4 or 5 episodes. If you're not taking creatine, consider taking creatine. It's great. It's like the miracle drug. I think everybody should be taking creatine. This is not an advertisement. We do sell creatine at all of our Grizzly gyms, and if we don't have it there, hit me up. But you should be taking creatine. It's great for you. If you're going to take creatine, make sure you're taking the right amount of water as well. It's important to drink water. Some people experience headaches on creatine. That only happens if you're only drinking like 2 glasses of water a day. So as long as you're drinking the proper intake for you and your size and you're taking some creatine, great. Let's talk about
You think more exercise or supplements, or what are you thinking?
whatever. I don't care. I know we've talked a little bit about like exercise routines for beginners. What do you think about, we talked about like sodium intakes? I don't know that I have a lot to educate on that. I know that I
Are big on going above and beyond regular like RDVs.
Yeah, I think we've touched basically briefly on sodium. Like, a lot of people are concerned about sodium and high blood pressure and retaining water. Oh, if I have too much sodium, then I'm bloated or whatever. Water is good for you. Your body's primarily made up. You got a lot of water in your body. Your body needs it. But also sodium's a very important electrolyte, right? Like, so if you're working out consistently, if you're active, if you're not sitting at a desk and only getting 4,000 steps a day, if you're getting your 10 to 12 to 15,000 steps a day, if you're maybe getting a lift in, sodium intake is important. Now, there are bad sodiums. Your nitrites, your nitrates, like your preservative sodiums that you're going to get from deli meats, or basically anything you buy from Walmart or any kind of mass food chain or any fast, they're going to have these preservatives in it. They need to have the shelf life be as long as possible. They need to have the frozen food stay healthy, or, stay good to eat, right? So when I say sodium intake, it doesn't just mean go to the store and go buy like the chicken nuggets that you can reheat and that sodium intake's good for you. When I say sodium intake, I'm talking about like salting your food with a good salt. And I take my element packets, which you could debate if they're amazing for you or not bad for you, but the type of sodiums do matter. So when you're taking in sodium from a lot of these foods, be cautious. I got rid of nitrites and nitrates. Those are preservatives. So bacon, for example, is always going to have like nitrates and nitrates because they want to keep them frozen and keep the shelf life good. So I get bacon that is farm fresh, organic, and no preservatives. So when there's no preservatives, as soon as you thaw it, you got to basically cook it. You can't grab your thing of bacon from the freezer, leave it in the fridge for 1 or 2 weeks, and then cook it. It's going to go bad, in quotations, right? So I don't know a whole lot about all the sodiums and all the important sodiums, but don't just think because your McNuggets or your chicken nuggets or whatever you're buying, your Doritos, the sodium in there, That's not necessarily what I'm saying. So, but I do believe that your sodium intake should be higher than the 2,400 milligrams at the USDA or the FDA, whatever it is, on the nutrition and
It'd
back.
probably be more so FDA as far as like daily recommended values or daily intake.
So I think that number's low, but that's especially if you're being active, if you're getting your steps in. If you're not being active and you're not getting your steps in and you're eating a bunch of McDonald's fries and eating way too much sodium, you're probably going to have high blood pressure because you're not doing anything else, right? So go get your steps in, go get your workout in, and get your sodium intake up. I take anywhere from, I'm eating like 8 grams of sodium a day probably between all the salt in my food and then additionally the salt packets. I'm drinking 4 to 5 salt packets a day because I'm drinking like 2 gallons of water a day, which the more water you drink, the more sodium you flush out. So like, there's some give and take there. I drink more water than the average person, but I do believe in a higher sodium intake is good, 4 to 6 grams a day if you're being active and you're getting your steps in. So I don't know if you have anything you want to add about sodium, but I do think it's a very important thing for all of us.
I think just generally speaking to your point, when you refer to like, this is what like is recommended, this is what averages are, this is what they recommend for the average American. I think there's always exceptions to that, especially like say if someone's listening that, like you said, is professional bodybuilder, athlete, whatever the case might be, your calories obviously look a lot different than say what the 2,000 calorie diet looks like on the food label. Your needs for, especially in your case, if you're taking in protein, like the recommended value is 50 grams realistically. If you're a 200-pound guy, you're probably eating 180, 200 grams of protein a day. There's always exceptions to be made, and that goes both directions. Like if you have hypersensitivities to something, or like in your case, like you're going to retain carbs a lot worse than say someone body fat wise, or if you have heart conditions, like you might be able to take 3 to 9 milligrams of caffeine and see performance boosts. But realistically, if you have heart condition, obviously don't do those things. Like you're not going to see the same performance increases as others. Like there's always exceptions to be made. Not to kind of beat a dead horse, but do your own research. If you have to consult with a doctor or specialist, whatever the case is, obviously do those things just so you can see, like, obviously on the day, they might just refer you back to what the baseline number is. But of that range, obviously see where you fall. And it's not a case of like, oh, I should like go balls to the walls with everything, or I should completely avoid this. Like dealing in absolutes is a little like you go full bore one way or full bore one way. You can obviously falter and go the wrong direction depending on what you're doing. But
yeah,
I don't know if you have any 2 cents on that.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I always am going to say do your own research. And everybody's like their own, like you should strive to understand yourself, right? Like do your own research, but then also like what I've been doing is I just practice on myself, right? Like I try a new habit for a couple weeks and see what works and what doesn't. That's the beautiful thing about the diet that I'm on is I'll bring it all the way back to carnivore and just basic meats and eggs basically. Then I can kind of play around. Let me add avocado and see how I feel, or let me add this seasoning or that seasoning. Like that's how down to the T I kind of have it. And then I can kind of figure out what works for me and what doesn't. So same thing. Everybody will kind of find their range of what works for them and kind of everything, water intake, sodium intake, all this stuff. I just think if you're going to read the back of food labels and think that that's the best way to understand nutrition, it's not. You just need to understand kind of what you're putting in your body and stick to whole foods and all of that. So what do we got for time, G? 33? Well, since I'm sweating profusely, I feel like.
I say if you're also sitting in a hot studio, sodium intake has to go up even if it's not physically endearing. Yeah.
I do want to learn more about sodium too, because it's like, let's just say I have 8 grams a day, but then I sauna for 20 minutes a day, and then I also go for my run. Like, I wish there was a better understanding of like how much
you excrete when you're doing different.
Yeah, like almost like how many calories I'm burning a day, like how much sodium am I kicking out, and like how much more can I have or whatever. But
yeah, keep yourself in flux or in check.
Yeah, but I guess we'll kind of cut her off here just because I can't stand sweating like this, and trying to focus and have a conversation isn't the easiest. So I'm trying to think of any other updates for you guys quick. We do have our 4th of July apparel out. Next Friday is the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So make sure you hit us up for the 4th of July apparel. 10% of proceeds go back to local VFWs. We've got our ice shaker, we've got our t-shirt, and then we've got 2 different colored baseball caps right now, or Richardson hats. So we've got the 112s in for the Richardson hats, for those of you who know what that is. We've got an all-white hat, and then we've got a white and gray hat. Let us know if you're interested in any of that stuff. Shoot me a text if you got me there. Otherwise, add me on Snapchat, Colton.Burt, COLTON.BURT. Instagram, Facebook is ColtonBurt19. Email is marketing@fitnessgrizzly.com. I will have Chase throw his in there, but I feel like there's one other thing I want to tell you guys real quick. Maybe not. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video aspect of this. Maybe G can, I don't know, maybe G will spin the camera around with no sound afterwards and show you how not done this space is and how there's not a single fan in here and no AC. And we got a lot of work to do down here. But if anybody knows the stained concrete guy, let us know, because we do want to get the flooring done down in here so that we can get the rest of these projects done. So anyways, I'll quit rambling. I'll throw it over to Chase so we can throw his socials in there. And hopefully you guys enjoy the episode.
If you're looking for me on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all the like there, it's just me, ChaseMastricola. And go out, kill the rest of the week here for you. Finished out strong. Had someone actually talk to me recently too about the Snapchat and said I was able to work out a load Friday and they were enjoying it. I was like, hell yeah, that's what it's all about.
I have had quite a few people I had one guy message me the other day, and he listens to our podcast regularly, so he'll hear this and he'll text me. But he goes, hey, ever since your like finance podcast, like I've been paying my credit card off and I got it all paid off now, which is super cool. Thanks for like the information on that, because I just didn't know much about it or how it worked. So I am going to be doing some more financial tips on some of these episodes. People kind of know a little bit more. I am very passionate about finances and credit card hacking and all that kind of stuff, so I would love to share more of that stuff. So maybe even for somebody like you that doesn't even have a credit card yet, maybe if you could come up with a couple questions from somebody in your shoes. Hey, I don't have one. I know I've taught you some stuff or talked to you, but maybe if you can come with a mindset of like, I don't have a card, I don't know what it is. Give me some like beginner questions that you think of being in your shoes, but also like some, you know what I'm trying to say? Like I've taught you some stuff, but pretend I haven't. Just give me some like bare bones questions. I think that'd be a cool episode for everybody to kind of understand, and we can kind of dive into some more of that. So maybe Wednesday or Friday, if we have some time, we can do an episode like that if you can come up with some questions. I'm giving Chase some homework live on the podcast. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have had quite a few people reach out to us saying they've changed this, or they're working out harder, or they started a new workout program, or what should I be eating and how should I do this? And I love that. That is so cool to help you guys. And that's really what we're all about. The Grizzly life is a mentality. It's a way of life. It's it's again, being the best you, whatever that means to you. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be a marathon runner. You don't have to be a nutritionist. We just want you to become a better version of you. So keep that in mind. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys.